बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। बोलिए श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Jai Jai Sitaram, and a cordial welcome, devotees, to all of you joining with us this morning as we engage in our normal Sunday devotion. As we begin this morning's devotion, those who are participating at home with puja, if you do have flowers, please take a flower in your hand, and we all clasp our hands, we close our eyes, we bow our heads, we focus our minds at the feet of Shri Krishna Bhagavan as we do our opening prayer. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Om Shri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namaha, Om Shri Govindaye Namo Namaha. Om Shamno Mitra Sham Varuna Shamno Bhavatu Aryamam, Shamno Indro Brihaspati Shamno Vishnu Rukramam. Namo Brahmane Namaste Vaya Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi, Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Varishyami Ritam Varishyami Satyam Varishyami. Tanmam Avatu Tarvaktaram Avatu, Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Dhyo Shantihi Antarikshagam Shantihi, Prithvihi Shantihi Apah Shantihi. Osharaye Shantihi Vanaspataye Shantihi, Vishvireva Shantihi Brahma Shantihi, Sarvagam Shantihi Shantireva, Shanti Samah Shantiredhi. Those who are performing puja, please recite your Rashi names in your mind. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Vishnur Vishnur Vishnu Namah Paramatmane Shri Purana Purushottam Adya Shri Brahmano Nidvetya Pararhi Shri Shveta Varaha Kalpe Vaivasvat Manvantarim Ashta Vinashati Tame Kali Yuge Kali Prathama Charani Bhuloke Jambu Dvipe Kanada Varshe Skabro Grami Baudhavatari Shubha Maase Shubha Pakshe Shubha Tithi Amuk Namasya Mukha Gotram Namaham Daihika Daivika Bhautika Tatraya Iti Shri Krishna Bhagavan Havana Pujanam Shankalpam Karishye. Offer a flower. We now do Pavitra purification. We sprinkle the water on our altar 3 times. Om Apavitraha Pavitro Va Sarvavasthangato Vapeva Yashmarit Pundarikaksham Sabahyabhya Antaram Suchi. Om Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. We bow down to our altar 3 times, envisioning that we bow to Dharti Mata, Mother Earth. Om Shamashvame Parasparsham Shamashile Paratpare Ram Krishna Dikanantvam Mata Prithavi Namastute. We bow to the ground, we take our seats. Om Prithavi Tvayadrita Loka Devi Tvam Vishnunadrita Tvam Chadharyamam Nityam Pavitram Kuru Chasanam Iti Asanam Samarpayami. Prem se asan lijiye, please have your seats. So at this time, devotees, we compose ourselves, we prepare ourselves to invoke presence and blessings of Panch Mahadevta, beginning of course with Prathama Puja, Adi Puja, Gajanana Swami. We all contemplate, meditate upon his beautiful form as we seek his presence and blessings this morning. Harihi Om Vakratunda Mahakaya सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। गजाननं भूतगणारिसेवितं कपित्तजम्बूफलसारभक्षणम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पारपङ्कजम्। ॐ गङ्गणपतये नमः। ॐ गङ्गणपतये नमः। ॐ गणपतये नमः। बोलिए श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय। Now meditate upon Devi Mata in the form of Adi Shakti, Durga Mata. Om Sarvamangal Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trayambike Gauri Narayane Namostute या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। ॐ दुं दुर्गाय नमः। ॐ दुं दुर्गाय नमः। ॐ दुं दुर्गाय नमः। बोलिए श्री आदि शक्ति दुर्गा माता की जय। We meditate, contemplate upon Mahapati Mahadev Shiv Shankar Bhagwan. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahi महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्र प्रचोदयात्। कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानि सहितं नमामि। ॐ नमः शिवाय। ॐ नमः शिवाय। ॐ नमः शिवाय। बोलिए श्री महापति महादेव की जय। We do humble prostrations and salutations, obeisance to Shri Surya Narayana Swami, that one who provides the light and the energy to sustain this entire universe. हाथ जोर बिनती करो सूर्य देव भगवान, दास आपनो जानि प्रभु करहु सदा कल्याण। आदिदेव नमस्तुभ्यं प्रसीदा मम भास्कर, दिवाकर नमस्तुभ्यं प्रभाकर नमोस्तुते। ओम सूर्याय नमः। ओम सूर्याय नमः। ओम सूर्याय नमः। बोलिए श्री सूर्य नारायण स्वामी की जय। Now we focus upon Shri Mahavishnu Bhagavan, Shri Krishna Bhagavan. Om Shantakaram Bhojagshayanam Padmanabham Suresham विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णु भवभयहरणं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। ॐ कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपाकुमाराय श्रीगोविन्दाय नमो नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। बोली श्री महाविष्णु भगवान के जय। श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल के जय। So at this time, devotees, we will be engaging in small puja to Shri Krishna Bhagavan. So those who are making offerings at home, please join with us as we make offerings here at the mandir. Firstly, we'll offer water. Hari Om Gangeshaya Mune Chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalyasmin Sanidim Kurum Shri Krishna Bhagavan Argyam Padyam Snanam Samarpayami. We now offer Chandan. Om Shri Khanda Chandanang Divyam Gandadhyo Samanuharam Vilepanam Surshreshtang Shri Krishna Bhagavan Chandanang Samarpayami. We offer a pushpa, flower. Om Malyadini Sugandheni Malyatadini Vai Prabhu Mayahritani Pujartam Pushpani Pratigrihyatam Shri Krishna Bhagavan Pushpam Samarpayami. We offer Gandha, essence. Om Gandham Grihan Devesha Deva Deva Dayanadhi Tvameva Jagatam Natistva Tvameva Jagatam Prabhu Shri Krishna Bhagavan Gandham Samarpayami. We now offer deep light arti. Om Sajam Chavarti Sanyuktam Vahnina Yojitam Maya Deepam Grihan Devesha Trailukyam Timirapaham. Boli Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. If you prepare the Naivedya, a prasad to offer to Shri Krishna, you can hold it in our hands at this time. Firstly, passing the water around it 3 times. Om Mandakinyastu Yadvari Sarva Papa Haram Shubham Taridam Kalpitam Devam Samyagya Achmanyatvam Tvaya. We all pray together in our own words to Shri Krishna Bhagavan today as we offer this Naivedya. With prema or bhakti, love and devotion, we humbly ask you, Prabhu, to accept it and to shower us with your blessings. Hari Om Grit Pakvan Havishainam Payasham Shishrakar Dan Vidhan Naivedyam Shri Krishna Bhagavan Naivedyam Samarpayami. Om Tvadyam Vastu Govindam Tubhyameva Samarprayet Grihan Sanmukta Bhuktava Prasira Purushottamam. Boli Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Touch the prasad to your murti, touch to your head, reciting Shri Krishna Arpanam. If you have flowers, tulsi leaf in your prasad, you can offer it while chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We now offer water to Shri Krishna. Om Sarva Papa Haram Devam Gangeyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanyam Chamaya Dattam Grihan Parameshwaram Shri Krishna Bhagavan Achmanyam Samarpayami. If you prepare the dakshina to offer, you can offer it at this time. Om Nakapala Supala Maulavi Vanditangri Yugala Prabhu Hari Dakshinang Purare Shri Krishna Bhagavan Danam Dakshinaye Samarpayami. Prostrate to your murti. Boli Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. So at this time, devotees, as we are accustomed to, we'll join in offering praises through the medium of bhajan kirtan to the feet of Gajanana Swami. This morning, devotees, our service, our devotion is sponsored by a wonderful family who prefers to remain unnamed, but we do wish this family very special blessings on taking this opportunity to sponsor this devotion this morning, which is being done on their behalf. Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayanidhi Sakala Vighan Kar dur hamare Prathama dhare जो ध्यान तुम्हारो तिसके पूरन कारज सारे. गणनाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारी प्रथम धरे जो ध्यान तुम्हारो तिसके पूरन कारज सारे. जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे. लंबोदर गज बदन मनोहर कर त्रिशूल परशोभर धारे. लंबोदर गज बदन मनोहर कर त्रिशूल परशोभर धारे. रिधि सेधि लो शबर दुलावत मूषक वाहन परम सुखारे. जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे. जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे. ब्रह्मादिक सुर ध्यावत मन में, ऋषि मुनि गण सब दास तुम्हारे। ब्रह्मादिक सुर ध्यावत मन में, ऋषि मुनि गण सब दास तुम्हारे। ब्रह्मानंद सहाय करो नित, भक्त जनों के तुम रखवाले। जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि, सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे। जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि, सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे। जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि, सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे। जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि, सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे। बोलिए श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय। So at this time, devotees, we will engage in mantra jap havan. So those who are performing havan with us, please sit in front of your havan kunda this time. As we prepare to invite Agni Devta, we'll ignite the fire as I chant this mantra. Harihi Om Bhurabhuvasvaha Om Bhurabhuvasvaha Dhayuriva Bhumna Prithvi Varimna Tasya Aste Prithvi Devaya Janim Prishti Aganim Anadam Anadayadari. Boliye Shri Agni Devta ki Jai. Firstly, pass the water around the fire 3 times. Om Mandakinyastu Yadvari Sarva Papa Haram Shubham Taridam Kalapitam Devam Samyagyachmanyatvam Tvayayitihi Achmanyam Samarpayami. We now begin making our offerings at the recitation of Swaha, also chanting Swaha together. Om Shri Ganesh Devatabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Om Shri Gaura Parvati Mataye Namah Swaha. Om Shri Shankar Bhagavan Bhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Agni Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Mahalakshmi Mataye Namah Swaha. Om Shri Mahavishnu Bhagwan Bhyo Namah Swaha. Om Namo Narayanaye Bhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Surya Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Chandra Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Mangal Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Buddha Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Brihaspati Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Shukra Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Shani Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Rahu Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Ketu Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Pranayabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Apanayabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Samanayabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Indrayabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Dhanikayabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Ishtadevtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Kul Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Sthan Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Gram Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Mata Pita Charan Kamlebhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Shantikod Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Panchpal Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Das Digpal Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Adi Shakti Durga Mataye Namah Swaha. Om Shri Rundhati Devi Bhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Bhadrakali Devi Bhyo Namah Swaha. ओम श्री संतोषिनी देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्री रुद्राणी देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्री ब्रह्माणी देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्री परमेश्वरी देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्री अंबिके देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्री चंडिके देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। ओम ऐं सरस्वती माताये नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्री रामचंद्र भगवानभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्री कृष्ण भगवानभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्री हनुमते नमः स्वाहा। We all join together as we chant Brahm Gayatri mantra. Om Bhurabhuvasvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurabhuvasvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurabhuvasvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Mahamrityunjay mantra. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamaeva Vandanamrityurmukshyaamritat Swaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamaeva Vandanamrityurmukshyaamritat Swaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamaeva Vandanamrityurmukshyaamritat Swaha. We all engage in chanting that 12-syllable mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, 27 repetitions. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha. 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 Om Shri Sarvadevata Devyobhyo Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Sarvadevata Devyobhyo Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Sarvadevata Devyobhyo Namaha Swaha. Final offering. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Mudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. Boli Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Pass the water around the fire 3 times. Om Sarva Papa Haram Devam Gangeyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanyam Chamaya Dattam Grihan Parameshwaram Shri Agni Devta Achmanyam Samarpayami. Boli Shri Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai. this morning, devotees, as we engage in our devotion. Before we get into the pages of Sridham Charitamanas, we all join our voices together as we chant beautiful praises to Sri Krishna. Gopala, Gopala, Sham Gopala, 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 Sham Gopala, Murali Gan Lola, Gopi Gopala, Murali Gan Lola, Gopi Gopala, 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 Sham Gopala, 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 Sham Gopala, Murali Gan Lola, Gopi Gopala, Murali Gan Lola, Gopi Gopala. देवकी नंदन सुंदर वेणु गोपाला, देवकी नंदन सुंदर वेणु गोपाला, देवकी नंदन सुंदर वेणु गोपाला, राधे 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 गोपाला, राधे 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 गोपाला, गोपाला गोपाला Sham Gopala, 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 Sham Gopala, Murali Gan Lola, Gopi Gopala, Murali Gan Lola, Gopi Gopala. देवकी नंदन सुंदर वेणु गोपाला, देवकी नंदन सुंदर वेणु गोपाला, राधे 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 गोपाला, राधे 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 गोपाला, गोपाला गोपाला श्याम गोपाला, गोपाला गोपाला श्याम गोपाला, मुरली गान लोला गोपी गोपाला. कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला, कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला, कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला, कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला, भज मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला, भज मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला. कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला, 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 भज मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला, भज मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला, भज मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला. कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला. बोली श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. Devotees, our happiness in this life depends upon our mind. What is the state of our mind? How is our mind operating? How is our mind focused? The intellect of the individual is the thinking faculty. The mind processes experiences. The mind is what experience, not the body. The body is simply an instrument. The intellect is the thinking part of the individual. The mind is what experiences. And how we experience devotees is based upon the state of our minds. A beautiful bhajan tells us, Sukh ke kaliya, dukh ke kante, man sab ka aadhar. That happiness and unhappiness and these experiences of both depends upon the mind for support. Depends upon the mind for support. So devotees, as we always hear, happiness or unhappiness is our choice to make. Whether we are happy or unhappy, we have that choice to make, and we have that power to make that choice, devotees. So the bhajan is telling us, Tora man darpan kehlai, that your mind, devotees, and my mind is a darpan, is a mirror. What does that mirror tell us? What does that mirror show us, devotees, when we look into that mirror of the mind? Bhale bure sare karmo ko. It shows us bhale bure, good and bad, sare karmo ko. All the activities, the actions that we have performed, whether they are good or bad, dekhe or dekhai, can be seen and reflected in that mirror of our minds. As such, devotees, that happiness or unhappiness depends upon our minds. And where we place our minds, devotees, we place our minds at the feet of Bhagavan, then that mind will support that sense of peacefulness, the sense of happiness. We remind ourselves this morning of our true nature. Remind ourselves of how the process becomes to make ourselves peaceful and happy. Tora man darpan kehlai, Tora man darpan kehlai, Tora man darpan kehlai. भले बुरे सारे कर्मों को, भले बुरे सारे कर्मों को देखे और दिखाए, तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए, तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए. मन ही देवता, मन ही ईश्वर, मन से बड़ा कोई. मन ही देवता, मन ही ईश्वर, मन से बड़ा कोई. मन उजियारा जब जब फैले, जग उजियारा होए. इस उजले दर्पण पर प्राणी भूलन जमने पाए, तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए, तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए. के कलिया दुख के कांते मन सबका आधार। सुख के कलिया दुख के कांते मन सबका आधार। मन से कोई बात छुपे ना मन के नैन हजार। जग से कोई भागल कोई मन से भागन पाए। तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए, तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए। भले बुरे सारे कर्मों को देखे और दिखाए। तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए, तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए, तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए। बोली श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Devotees, if we can present that mind and supplicate that mind, offer that mind at the feet of Bhagwan, and bring that mind under the protection of Bhagwan, then that mind will not go in the wrong direction, lead us to unhappiness, to states of unhappiness. This is very important for us to remember. We have heard many times from our scriptures that once the mind becomes unprotected, once the mind is unprotected, devotees, now we are vulnerable. We are vulnerable to all sorts of negativity. So we always try to make sure that we do what is necessary to protect our minds. And that includes, devotees, as we say, the practice of what we know to be correct, as well as the non-practice of what we know to be incorrect. Both work hand in hand. One will not be effective without practice of the other. There must be some sort of aversion, some sort of reluctance or hindrance that we place in front of ourselves, that when we are tempted to do something that is wrong, and each and every day we are, isn't it? We are tempted to do what is wrong because we feel, this is going to be enjoyable. It's going to be, something that's nice. We're going to have good experiences. This is what's called temptation. This is what's called Vishay, devotees, the poisons of this world. It appears to be very nice on the outside, but when we get into it, we realize how damaging it is to us. And there are many things in this world that present very nicely, but then bring us misery, bring us unhappiness and suffering. So we have to stand strong. We have to make our minds strong against participating and engaging in behaviors and activities that will cause us long-term problems, difficulties. So this morning, devotees, as we prepare ourselves to receive Katha from Sri Ramcharitamanas, I ask once more that we all clasp our hands, we close our eyes, we bow our heads. We focus our minds at the feet of Maryada Purushottam, Prabhu Sri Ram, as we chant these few lines of praises unto him. Hari Om. Varnanam Artha Sanghanam Rasanam Chandasam Mangalanam Chakartaro Vande Vani Vinayako भवानी शङ्करो वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वास्वरूपिणा याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ते सिद्धस्वान्तस्थमीश्वरम् वन्दे बोधमयं नित्यं गुरुशङ्कररूपिणम् यमाश्रितो हि वक्रोऽपि चन्द्रा सर्वत्र बन्ध्यते सीताराम गुणग्राम पुण्यारण्य बिहारिणा वन्दे विशुद्ध विज्ञान कवीश्वरा कपीश्वरो रामायण सुमिरन। जे सुमिरत सिद्धि हो गणनायक कर वर बदना अनुग्रह सो बुधिराशि शुभ गुण सदना मूक होय वाचा पंगु चढ़े गिरि वर गहना जासु कृपा सुदया द्रवौ सकल कलिमल दहना नीला सरो रोहस्या तरुण अरुण बारिज नयना करौ सो मम उरधान सदा क्षीर सागर शयना कुंद इंदु समदे उमार मन करुणायना जाहि दीन परने करौ कृपा मर्दन नयना बंदाव गुरु पद का कृपा सिंधु नर रूप हरे महामोह तम जासु बचन रवि कर करा सियापति राम चंद्र जी की जय शरणम। बोली श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। This morning, devotees, we continue our katha from where we left off last week, where after completion of telling the story of the katha of Prabhu Shri Ram, Garuda ji is speaking to Kagabusunda ji. He said to Kagabusunda ji that now my doubts, my questions are all dispelled because I've heard this complete account, the complete story katha of Maryada Purushottam. And by your grace and your blessings, O Kagabusunda ji, I have developed a sincere devotion to the feet of Prabhu Shri Ram. By your grace, devotees, when we listen to Katha and we listen with that love, we listen with that care, we listen with that attention, and the one who is presenting the Katha and the one who is giving the Katha is also giving with love, is also giving with care, and also giving with attention, then devotees, the result is a rising of devotion or the development of devotion in the hearts of the listener as well as the heart of the presenter, the one who's giving. So both are benefiting if the bhav and the attitude and the approach is correct. Here we have Kagabhu Sundarji, who is constantly reciting the teachings or the Katha Shri Rama. And here we have Garudaji, who came with grave doubts, serious doubts and questions in his mind. And devotees, through listening in the correct way, through listening with the right approach and the right attitude, his doubts were dispelled, and also he was blessed with that devotion to the feet of Maryada Purushottam. This morning we'll go on to that sutta that we didn't complete last week, and after this we'll move on from there. प्रभु बंधन रन महु निरखे मोहि भयउ अति मोह रामा मोहि भयउ अति मोह राम बिकल कारण कवन चिदानंद संदोह रामा चिदानंद संदोह सिया वर रामचंद्र पद जय शरणम शंकर हरिओ जय जय सिया राम. He said, Prabhu bandhan ran mahu nirakhi mohi bhayu ati moha. He said, when I saw my Lord being bound by this weapon of snakes, he was tied up with this snake weapon, devotees. When I saw him bound like this, and I was called, I, servant of Shri Mahavishnu Bhagavan, I was called to render service, to help the Lord out of this predicament, of this situation. He said, a mighty confusion arose in my mind. A great confusion, a great doubt arose in my mind. O Kagabhu Sundarji, Ram bikal karan kavan chidanand sandoha. He said, I started to think. Why Shri Ram? He is that one who is the sum of all consciousness, of all bliss. He is the cause and the reason of everything. Why my Lord should be in this situation? Why my Lord should be in this situation? Yesterday I was listening to a little sermon that was given by Swami Mukundananda. And he was advising us as devotees, as aspiring devotees, that do not apply our intellect to the activities of Bhagwan. Boli Shri Ram Chandra ki Jai. Our intellect can only reach so far, devotees. Our intellect can only understand so much. We are presented with a concept called infinity, isn't it? But we only understand infinity as something that is infinite. But beyond that, what is the concept of infinity? Do we understand? Can we conceptualize what is infinity? We just know that it's something that's infinite. In the same way, devotees, Bhagwan is infinite. Our abilities to understand is finite. There's an end, there's a limit to what we can understand and conceptualize. As such, the great sages, the rishis, the munis, they tell us, do not apply your intellect. Do not try to think too much about what God does, what Bhagwan does. Because devotees, many times we'll become confused. We'll become confused. Why Bhagwan did this? Why Bhagwan did that? And then we start to question. We start to question, we start to doubt, we start to become confused. And then we say, oh, I don't think this is for me. And we start to go down the wrong paths. But the great sages, rishis, munis, what they prescribe for us, what they tell us devotees, is apply the mind into devotion. Apply the mind into devotion. And when that mind is applied into devotion, we bypass the thinking faculty when it comes to Bhagwan. Apply the intellect into the world, understand the world. Think about the world, yes. Analyze what is happening here. But when it comes to Bhagavan, we apply our minds. When it comes to Bhagavan, we apply our minds, devotees. How do we apply our mind, devotees? Bhajo bhaya Ram Ram, Bhajo bhaya Ram, Govind Hare Shri Govind Hare. Very beautifully. Very enjoyable exercise and practice, which is chanting the name of the Lord. Bhajo bhaya Ram Ram, Bhajo bhaya Ram, Govind Hare Shri Govind Hare. Bhajo bhaya Ram Ram, Bhajo bhaya Ram, Govind Hare Shri Govind Hare. जप तप साधन कछु नहीं लागत, खर्चत नहीं गठरे। जप तप साधन कछु नहीं लागत, खर्चत नहीं गठरे। भजो भैया राम राम, भजो भैया राम, गोविंद हरे श्री गोविंद हरे। भजो भैया राम राम, भजो भैया राम, गोविंद हरे श्री गोविंद हरे। कहत कबीरा राम न जामुख, वो मुख धूल भरे। कहत कबीरा राम न जामुख, वो मुख धूल भरे। भजो भैया राम राम, भजो भैया राम, गोविंद हरे श्री गोविंद हरे। भजो भैया राम राम, भजो भैया राम, गोविंद हरे श्री गोविंद हरे। गोविंद हरे श्री गोविंद हरे, गोविंद हरे श्री गोविंद हरे। बोले श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की Jai. Devotees, we apply our mind into these types of practices and exercises and have that mind supplicate. Have that mind offer itself to the feet of Bhagwan. And this is what will bring us happiness, devotees. Not to apply the intellect, not to sit down and try to understand and analyze the scriptures, devotees. This is not possible. It is not possible. In Hindi we say asambhav. It's not possible, it's impossible for us to completely understand, analyze, all the scriptures. Many times we become confused and questions arise, just from Sri Ramcharitamanas, which is one of the most basic forms of scripture, the Itihasa, where it is presented in a story form. Recently also listening to devotees asking questions of a spiritual master about why Sri Ram did this, why Sri Ram did that, why did he do this, and so many questions. Devotees, when we start to think like this, when we start to analyze like this, we're questioning that supreme power. We're questioning that supreme Lord. Devotees, that is not our position. It's not our position. It's not our responsibility. Do we question Bhagavan that he causes the sun to rise every day? Do we question Bhagavan that the earth rotates how many thousands of miles every minute? Which causes the existence. We question Bhagavan for all the other things that he does. But now we start to nitpick because we are applying our intellect. We start to pick and choose. Oh, Bhagavan did this. This is very strange. So why? So now we start to question. And devotees. Garudaji continued to say, let us hear in Chaupai.
देखी चरित अति नर अनुसारी, देखी चरित अति नर अनुसारी, भयो हृदय मम संशय भारी। बोलो श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम। सोई भ्रम अब हित करे नहीं जाना, कीन्ह अनुग्रह कृपा निधाना। बोलो श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम।
What he said, devotees?
देखी चरित अति नर अनुसारे, भयो हृदय मम संशय भारे।
He said, Dekhi Charita. As I was watching the Charit, the activities of the Lord, as I was watching this story unfold, he said, Ati Nar Anusari. It seemed to be so consistent with the ways of an ordinary mortal, an ordinary man. This is how he perceived it. This is how he looked. This is what he saw. We've used this analogy many times. The two prisoners looking out of the window of the same prison cell, one of them saw stars, the other one saw mud. Which direction they were looking in, that is what they saw. The same way, devotees, we can look at the activities of the Lord as divine activities, or we can say he acted as a mere human. He acted as a mere mortal. Here, through this doubt and this question, Garud is looking at the activities of the Lord as he's acting as an ordinary human. Ravan also did this. He also saw Sri Ram as an ordinary human who he tried to take advantage of. We also heard in the Ramayana about Sati Devi, when Sati Devi mistakenly thought Sri Ram was an ordinary person. And why Shankar Bhagwan continuously, japping his name, chanting his name. Until she got to that point where she went to test herself. She went to check to see if Sri Ram is Bhagwan or not. So you see, devotees, this doubt can arise in the mind of anyone. Garud is no ordinary person, no ordinary entity. He is the mount, he is the vehicle of Mahavishnu Bhagwan. This doubt came in his mind. As such devotees, we have to be very on guard as to the thoughts that enter into our minds. So Garud said, he's looking and he's seeing that Sri Ram is, his charit, his activities is so much like an ordinary person, an ordinary man. He said, Bhai hriday mam sansay bhari. He says, in my heart, a great doubt came. A great question came. He says now, Soi Brahm ab hit kari mai jana. Now, I understand that doubt and that error as a blessing. Even though I went through some hardship and some difficulty because of that doubt, some mental strain, some mental distress because of that doubt and that question, but now I regard it as a blessing. I regard it as a blessing because Kinha Nugraha Kripani Dhana, I feel that all merciful Lord has blessed me through this doubt, through this question. Boli Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ke Jai. Devotees, again perspective. Sometimes we go through some dark times in life, sometimes we go through some hard times, difficult times. What do we do? What do we do, devotees? We trust the process, we trust Bhagwan, we trust God. We put our faith and our trust in Bhagwan, devotees, that He is doing what is correct for us. And if He wants us to go through a little hardship, then so be it. If He wants us to go through a little difficulty, then so be it. We trust in Bhagwan that I'm praying to you every day, O Bhagwan. I'm praying to you every day. I'm asking your guidance, your protection every day. And if this is what you want from me, then that's okay, because I know this little hardship will lead me to a better place. This little difficulty will lead me to a better place. We are told if we always stay within our comfort zone, if we always stay within that place where we are comfortable, there's no opportunity for growth. Do we understand this? That if we always stay where we are comfortable, there's no opportunity for growth. So that we have to make ourselves a little uncomfortable. Oh yes, I don't know this. Oh yes, I cannot do this. So then I make myself a little uncomfortable because recognizing that deficiency in myself, now I make myself a little uncomfortable to become better. And this is how we look at little periods of hardship and difficulties in our lives. We look at them as opportunities for growth, opportunities to become a better individual. And this is what Garudji is recognizing now. But remember, way back when we started this katha, and we recognized that Garud had this doubt. What he was doing, he was running helter-skelter. He was running here and there, trying to find some solution. He was under great duress, he was under great strain. He was experiencing great unhappiness. But now recognizing that all of that strain and stress and difficulty has now led him to this better state. So sometimes, when we are going through our little difficulty, we can't see. We can't see where it's leading us. But this is when we continue. We continue to trust in Bhagwan. We continue to trust in the Lord, devotees, and know that He's leading us into a better place, to a better state. Devotees, if we are blessed with the Guru, we are blessed with a spiritual guide, that one, devotees, when we are finding ourselves questioning our state, when we are finding ourselves that we are not sure what we are supposed to do, then this is the one. Our Guru is the one that we go to. It is said,
पायो जे मैंने राम रतन धन पायो.
that great gem, that precious gem, which is Sri Ram, devotees. We obtain this wealth. Where do we get this from? Bastu Amolik De Mere Satguru, our Satguru, our spiritual guide. He is the one that leads us on to this most precious gem, devotees.
पायो जे मैंने राम रतन धन पायो. पायो जे मैंने राम रतन धन पायो. वस्तु अमोलिक दिए मेरे सतगुरु. वस्तु अमोलिक दिए मेरे सतगुरु. कृपा कर अपनायो. पायो जे मैंने कृपा कर अपनायो. पायो जे मैंने राम रतन धन पायो. पायो जे मैंने राम रतन धन पायो. जन्म जन्म के पूजे पाए. जन्म जन्म के पूजे पाए. जग में सभी खोवायो. जग में सभी खोवायो. खर्चिन कोते चोरन लोते. खर्चिन कोते चोरन लोते. दिन दिन बढ़त सवायो. पायो जे मैंने दिन दिन बढ़त सवायो. पायो जे मैंने राम रतन धन पायो. पायो जे मैंने राम रतन धन पायो. सत के नाम खेवतिया सतगुरु. सत के नाम.
Remind ourselves, devotees. We have heard this statement many times. Sat ke naav. This ocean of mundane existence, we can only cross it if Sat ke naav. If truth is our boat, devotees. If we trying to travel the ocean and the boat have some hole in it, what will happen? That boat will sink and we will perish. We will destroy ourselves. As such, we must uphold the highest form of truth. Make sure that boat don't have any holes. Always speak the truth, devotees. The moment we start to speak on truth, we put in holes in that boat. We start to sink. We start to sink in this ocean of mundane existence. Sat ke now, and then when we have that boat of truthfulness supporting us, Kevatiya Satguru, then we get that Kevat, we get that boatman who is our Satguru, our spiritual guide in our lives, devotees. Bhav Sagar tar ayo, then very easily we can cross this Bhav Sagar.
सत के नाव, सत के नाव, सत के नाव, खेवतिया सतगुरु, सत के नाव, सत के नाव, सत के नाव, खेवतिया सतगुरु, भव सागर तर आयो आयो जी मैंने, भव सागर तर आयो आयो जी मैंने, राम रतन धन पायो पायो जी मैंने, राम रतन वस्तु अमोलिक दिए मेरे सतगुरु, वस्तु अमोलिक दिए मेरे सतगुरु, तेरे पाकर अपनायो पायो जी मैंने, राम रतन धन पायो पायो जी मैंने, राम रतन धन पायो पायो जी मैंने, राम रतन धन पायो पायो जी मैंने, राम रतन धन, राम रतन धन, राम रतन धन पायो।
Holy Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki jai. Such beautiful lessons, devotees, that we can get out of each and every verse, Chaupai, Doha, out of Sri Ramcharitamanas. So, unfortunately for today, our time has expired very quickly, and we have a lot of birthdays this week to go through. So, I'll go through that first before we go into our Aarti and final Prarthana. This week gone, I'd like to extend birthday greetings to Auntie Bina and Madhav, who both celebrated their birthday, to Rajesh Samaru, to Matthias Baban, to Baliram Chun Sudama, to Tony Udaipal, to Anjani Harilal, and to Francesca Ramlochan. I'd like to wish all these devotees, and I am so sorry if I missed anyone. Please accept our apologies and accept our greetings, that we ask Bhagwan to bless each and every one of you who have celebrated a special occasion. Wish you so many more happy birthdays and special occasions to celebrate with all of us. As we are coming up to the auspicious day of Mahashivratri, we all join with these devotees as they celebrate this wonderful occasion in their life by giving praises to Shiv Shankar Bhagwan. We say unto the Lord, Hey Shiv Shankar Parama Manohar, that, O Lord Shiva, you are Parama Manohar, you are supremely beautiful. Supremely beautiful. Sukh barsane wale, that you are that one who's giver of all happiness. Dukh talte bhav se tarate, that we ask you to be our shield, O Prabhu, against dukh, unhappiness. Bhav se tarate, help us across this bhav sagar. Shambhu bhole bhale, praises unto you, O Shiv Shankar Bhagwan. We extend this greetings to everyone, asking Shankar Bhagwan's blessings to be upon each and every one of you.
हे शिव शंकर परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले, दुख तालते भाव से तारते, शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले। हे शिव शंकर परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले, दुख तालते भाव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले। लो प्रणाम है मंगलकारी, जगदीश्वर त्रिपुरारी। लो प्रणाम है मंगलकारी, जगदीश्वर त्रिपुरारी। साचा वर दो दीन जनों को, हे भोला भंडारी। साचा वर दो दीन जनों को, हे भोला भंडारी। आज तिहारी शरणे आए, दाता मोहि बचा ले। दुख तालते भाव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले। हे शिव शंकर परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले, दुख तालते भाव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले। हे ज्ञानेश्वर शक्तिशाली, अर्जी करे सवारी। हे ज्ञानेश्वर शक्तिशाली, अर्जी करे सवारी। हम है फूल तेरे बगिया के, तू है बाग कमाली। पूजा लायक कर ले हमको, अपनी शरण लगा ले। दुख तालते भाव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले। हे शिव शंकर परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले, दुख तालते भाव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले, 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 शंभु भोले भाले। बोलिए श्री महापति महादेव की जय।
It's one line that we say in this bhajan devotees. We say unto Lord Shiva, Puja layak karle humko. That we asking Lord Shiva to give us the ability to perform His worship, to perform His puja in the proper way, in the best way. Apne sharan lagali, and accept us into your protection, Prabhu. Accept us into your protection. This is all we seek, devotees, to be able to serve Bhagavan in the best way that we can. In this way, we lead ourselves to higher and higher states of peace, happiness, contentment. So at this time, devotees, we'll be joining in our final arti. So those who are performing puja and you'd like to perform arti, please go to your altar and you can perform arti there as we engage in arti bhajan. If not, we all stand in reverence, obeisance to Maryada Purushottam as we engage in his arti this morning.
Om sajan chavarti sanyuktam vahnina yojitam maya deepam grihan deveshu trailokyam timirapaham। आरती की जय। श्री रघुवर की दशरथ नंदन सीतावर की आरती की जय। आरती की जय। श्री रघुवर की दशरथ नंदन सीतावर की आरती की जय। राम रमैया अंतरयामी मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम स्वामी। राम नमामि राम नमामि राम नमामि राम नमामि। सुर मुनि रक्षक करुणा कर की आरती की जय, आरती की जय। श्री रघुवर की दशरथ नंदन सीतावर की आरती की जय। जगपति सुरपति दीन दयाला दुख भय भंजन हे सुख पाला। हे जगवंदित रघुवर लाला, हे जगवंदित रघुवर लाला। सतचित आनंद शिव सुंदर की आरती की जय, आरती की जय। श्री रघुवर की दशरथ नंदन सीतावर की आरती की जय। संग विराज जानकी माई, आरे संग में तीनों भाई। अद्भुत शोभा बरनी न जाए, अद्भुत शोभा बरनी न जाए। विश्व विधाता प्रभु सुखवर की आरती की जय, आरती की जय। श्री रघुवर की दशरथ नंदन सीतावर की आरती की जय। सगुण रूप प्रगति अविनाशी, मंगलमय प्रभु शुभ सुख राशि। कर दर्शन कते लाख 84, कर दर्शन कते लाख 84। शरणागत वत्सल ईश्वर की आरती की जय, आरती की जय। श्री रघुवर की दशरथ नंदन सीतावर की आरती की जय, आरती की जय, आरती की जय।
So whilst our principal devotee is completing Aarti, we join in very beautiful bhajan in praises of Prabhu Shri Ram.
युगों युगों से जैसे चमके सूरज चांद सितारे, एक दिन ऐसे ही चमकेंगे तेरे भाग सितारे। बस राम का नाम लिए जा और अपना काम किए जा, बस राम का नाम लिए जा और अपना काम किए जा। युगों युगों से जैसे चमके सूरज चांद सितारे, एक दिन ऐसे ही चमकेंगे तेरे भाग सितारे। बस राम का नाम लिए जा और अपना काम किए जा, बस राम का नाम लिए जा और अपना काम किए जा। ये दुनिया है अजब तमाशा, कहीं है आशा कहीं निराशा, किसी के मुख पर मुस्काने हैं पर है कोई आंसू की भाषा। अगले निष्काम किए जा, बस राम का नाम लिए जा, अगले निष्काम किए जा, बस राम का नाम लिए जा। युगों युगों से जैसे चमके सूरज चांद सितारे, एक दिन ऐसे ही चमकेंगे तेरे भाग सितारे। बस राम का नाम लिए जा और अपना काम किए जा, बस राम का नाम लिए जा और अपना काम किए जा।
बोलिए श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। बस राम का नाम लिए जा, where it says that continue to chant the name of Bhagwan. This is enough. बस, this is enough. बस राम का नाम लिए जा और अपना काम किए जा, and continue to do your duty, continue to do your work. This is the best advice, devotees, that one can receive in this world. So at this time, as we engage in our final pratana, I ask that we all clasp our hands, we close our eyes, we bow our heads. We focus our minds at the feet of Shri Krishna Bhagavan, at the feet of Maryada Purushottam Prabhu Shri Ram, as we all join in this final pratana, thanking the Lord for this opportunity, asking for His continued grace and blessings as we all move through this journey of life.
Harihi Om. Mantrahinam kriyahinam bhaktihinam janadanam, yat pujitam mama deva devi paripurnam tadastu me. Om avahanam na janami visarjanam, pujam chaiva na janami shamyatam parameshwaram. Tvameva mata shapita tvameva, त्वमेव बन्धो शसका त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय। हे सर्वशक्तिमान सच्चिदानंद निराकार निर्विकार सर्वधार सर्वेश्वर सर्वव्यापक अंतर्यामी अजर अमर नित्य पवित्र सृष्टिकर्ता को बारंबार नमस्कार है। हे परमात्मा भविष्य वर्तमान दुखियों का कष्ट हरण करके सुबुद्धि को प्रकाश करके जिससे सबका मंगल हो। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम।
We all join our voices in one verse of this very beautiful bhajan as we close today's devotion.
तुम ही हो माता पिता तुम ही हो, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा तुम ही हो, तुम ही हो माता पिता तुम ही हो, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा तुम ही हो। साथी तुम ही सहारे, कोई न अपना सेवा तुम्हारी। तुम ही हो साथी तुम ही सहारे, कोई न अपना सेवा तुम्हारी। तुम ही हो नैया तुम ही खेवैया, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा तुम ही हो माता पिता तुम ही हो बंधु सखा तुम ही हो बंधु सखा तुम ही हो बंधु सखा तुम ही हो। बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र की जय, और ऐसा जगन्नाथ की जय। बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय, सियापति रामचंद्र की जय। बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। जय जय सीताराम। आसन लीजिए। प्लीज हैव योर सीट्स devotees. So just a gentle reminder that on Saturday coming will be Shri Ganesh Ji Chaturthi Puja worship onto Lord Ganesh. So we are asking devotees to join with us if possible. I will verify the time during this week and we will post it on our Facebook page as to the timing of the puja. And do not forget Mahashivratri on February the 28th. We'll be observing at least 2 prahars here at the mandir. So one at 9 o'clock and one at 12 o'clock. So we're asking devotees to join with us on that night as we engage in devotions to Shiv Shankar Bhagwan. And also we've gotten a very, very great response from devotees from right here in Canada, as well as a lot of devotees from the US who have reached out to us to take services and sponsor services. And we still do have some Sunday services available later on in the year from, I believe, May onwards, mid-April onwards, and also some Ganesh Ji Chaturthi Pujas are available. All the yagyas, I believe, are all. We have a few days? Okay, so I'm told that there are still a few days available in some of the yagyas. I believe Ramayana Yagya is completely taken. So there may be a couple of days in the Ganesh Utsav Yagya as well as the Navratri Yagya. So if anybody is interested to sponsor a session or even to come into the mandir, if the conditions are correct to perform the puja, we welcome devotees, even the US ones who want to come. We welcome you all to come as well to perform puja here with us at the mandir. So once more, devotees, God's blessings to each and every one of you. Continue to stay safe, continue to stay blessed. And if you're in the GTA area or north of here, and I don't know, in maybe some parts of the US, please stay warm. It's very, very cold today, and I think for the next couple of days. So once more, devotees, God's choicest blessings to each and every one of you. Until Saturday for our Ganesh Chaturthi program, Jai Jai Sitaram.